I'm Victoria Cooksey and you're watching What's for Dinner. Today I'm going to show you my version of fast food, which is basically do some of the work the day before, finish it off the next day. It's my idea of fast food anyway. Today I'm going to show you how to make lamb chops, and we're going to soak them in red wine overnight, or if you're in a hurry you can do this just a couple hours in advance. Let's get cooking. I've got 4 loin lamb chops here, and you can do this recipe also with like the French chops as well, any kind of lamb chops. So I got 4 of them. Into a large Ziploc bag we're going to put 4 lamb chops. I'm going to put in a little salt, a little black pepper, took a garlic clove, cut it in half, throw that in. Today I'm using dried thyme, but you could certainly use fresh, and about a teaspoon or so of the dried thyme. Grab a bottle of your favorite Pinot Noir, and you're going to put about half a cup in there. Be sure you've tasted your wine before you pour it in, even if it's one you always buy, because you never know what you're going to find. Make sure the lamb is even, seal it up, and try to squeeze all the air out of that. And I put this usually on a plate also, just in case the bag leaks. I put it in the refrigerator. You want to put this at least 4 hours. So if I was only going to do it 4 hours, I would take it after 2 hours, flip it over in the fridge so it kind of evenly coats there. But I often do this overnight, and that's kind of a good way to save a step for the next day. Another thing to remember is, since we open up this bottle of wine, and we're not going to be drinking it for a few hours or until the next day, be sure to put the cork back in really good, because if the oxygen gets in there, this won't taste good anymore. Now it's time to cook. So I've got a large skillet set over medium-high heat with a little bit of olive oil in it. I've got the lamb chops out, and I've sprinkled them with a little bit more salt, and I've kind of taken on a little bit of the color of the wine. And we're just going to pop these in. Let it rip. You're going to cook these just like you do steak. So if you like your steaks medium, medium rare, however you like your steak, that's what you're going for on the lamb chop as well. It's time to flip these over. Yeah, look at that. Lovely. These are done. They went even quicker on the second side, so I'm going to take them out. And I've actually got my oven goes all the way down to 170, so whatever your low setting like that is on your oven, have it on. Put this plate in the oven so it's going to stay warm, but it's not going to cook anymore, and it's going to just let those juices redistribute. Now it's time to make the sauce for our lamb chops. I actually moved the pan off the heat for a little bit, because if you pour the wine in right away, it just splatters everywhere, so I've let that cool down a touch. And taken a paper towel and got a lot of the fat out of there, because I really don't want the lamb fat in my sauce, but I've got the little bits still on the bottom of the pan there from cooking the meat. So I'm going to pour in about 1/3 of a cup of wine. What's great, you know, if you like to drink the wine and you cook with the wine, then the wine's going to go good with this on the side at the end. I'm going to let this come up to a simmer. And I also like to put in a little bit more pepper at this point. You also might need to put in a little salt. That's just going to be your, we'll taste at the end. If you need some salt, we'll add some salt. So I'm going to let this simmer. Just kind of get a little of the alcohol taste out of there and concentrate the flavor. Alright, now it's bubbling up a little bit, so I'm going to add in, it's about a ½ tablespoon of butter. Just stir that. Silicone whisks are good because they won't scratch up your pan and they can handle the heat. And I think this can handle just a little bit more butter. And I'm looking for just that added little creaminess, thickens the sauce up a little bit, gives up that bit of gloss, and it tastes good too. So I do this with the lamb and I do this with the steak. After the meat's rested, any juice that comes out on that resting plate, I just pour in the sauce and add that too. That's just that little bit extra flavor there. Well, now we come to the point of the show that's the best part, time to eat. So I've got the lamb on the plate. I poured the sauce over it. Earlier today, that way to make your dinner quick, do little things earlier, remember, I steamed up some carrots, sauteed a little garlic and butter and olive oil, Stirred the carrots in with that, put a little peas in there, a little salt, pepper. There's my side dish. Got that great bread from the farmer's market. And of course we're gonna have just a little bit of wine. So I hope you enjoy this. Serve it to your family or make a bunch just for yourself. I hope this episode has given you a new idea of what's for dinner. See you next time.